with their cups filled with rum, have stolen a page from the golden age. These scallywags and scum, with their cups filled with rum, have stolen a page from the golden age. From days of adventures, from times of old, these pirates have tales that need to be told. These scallywags and scum, with their cups filled with rum, have stolen a page from the golden age. These scallywags and scum, with their cups filled with rum, have stolen a page from the golden age. Ladies and gentlemen, pirates of all ages, welcome to another page from the Golden Age. In this episode, we will be talking about the terror of the Spanish Main, Sir Henry Morgan himself. You might be familiar with Sir Morgan from, your ventures to the bar. So, let's get to it. In 1635, in a small manor in a Welsh town, the terror of the Spanish Main was born. Henry Morgan, the man who proved to be a greater pain to the Spanish than Sir Francis Drake ever was. The immortalized face of your favorite rum. From a young age, Morgan was not much of a scholar. In fact, it is said that he dropped out of school as he was more fond of the pike than of books. Mr. Morgan had two uncles who were well in with the British authorities, as they were great military men. This would mean that his thirst for adventure might be answered quicker than expected. It is said that in 1654, Morgan joined the crew who were on their way to the Caribbean to wreak some havoc among the Spanish. They arrived in 1655 and were met by some unlucky ventures. Their attack on Santo Domenico was not successful, but managed to take the measly at the time Jamaica, a land that was constantly attacked by Maroons and surrounded by disease. Somehow they managed to turn Jamaica into a flourishing land, a base for British operations. In 1662, Henry Morgan became a privateer. Privateers were sailors who had permission given to them by the king to attack any ships that did not belong to the crown, mainly Spanish. In order to be a privateer, one had to possess a letter of marque, which was your official certificate of privateering. Now, Captain Morgan, privateer to the British, proved to be vital for the king and a headache to the Spanish, having attacked and plundered as much as he could in such a short time. By 1665, Morgan was already quite successful, owning land in Jamaica and being quite famous among his fellow Englishmen for wreaking havoc among the Spanish. What followed next are the three expeditions that not only put Morgan on the Spanish kill with pleasure list, but also put him in favour and in the hearts of the British royalty and nobles. In 1667, Captain Morgan, spiced and neat, issued an attack on Portobello, after hearing that the Spanish were planning an attack on Jamaica. Morgan took Portobello by surprise and therefore quickly overpowered their defences. Along with his men, he sacked Portobello and held it for ransom. He asked for 100,000 pesos in return for not burning the city to the ground. The following year, in 1668, Morgan sent an invitation to all pirates to join him for another attack in 1669. On March 9th, he led an attack on La Barra Fort, that was the main defense of Lake Maracaibo, and captured it easily. With the fort captured, he could move inwards to sack Maracaibo and Gibraltar. Morgan and his pirates stayed too long inside, which gave the Spanish enough time to send reinforcements and block their only way out, a narrow lake which was now blocked by 3 Spanish warships. The cunning captain set one of his ships ablaze and sent it towards the Spanish warships, causing one ship to sink. As for the other 2, one was abandoned and another was captured. Although the lake was now clear, the fortresses were reoccupied by the Spanish, but somehow Morgan tricked them into turning their cannons inland, allowing his ships to escape at night untouched. For his third and final act in 1671, Morgan once again called for his fellow pirates to aid him on the attack of Panama. With over 1,000 men, he sailed to San Lorenzo, sacked it, and marched inland to Panama City to find abandoned defenses in fear of Morgan himself. However, on January the 28th, the privateers and defenders met for a battle on the outskirts of the city. To no surprise, Morgan was once again victorious. As quickly as they were in, they got out to prevent the Spanish to send reinforcements, trying not to repeat their previous mistake. Although they were very successful, they didn't come out as wealthy as usual. This was because the Spanish had already shipped out most of the loot. Morgan sailed back to Jamaica, but he was to be met by some angry British. Apparently, the British and Spanish were at a time of peace when Morgan attacked Panama, so this did not go down well with the authorities, for obvious reasons. Therefore, in order for the British to look nice in the eyes of the Spanish, they asked Morgan to go up to England for his light punishment. As soon as he arrived, not only was he not punished, but he was treated as a celebrity. He drank and partied with nobles, and he was later on knighted and appointed Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica. Now Sir Henry Morgan sailed back to Jamaica to live out the rest of his days, until his life came to an end on the 25th of August, 1688, where he was given a royal send-off, with cannons shot from the ships at shore in salute, and his body paraded in a gun carriage to be buried like a king. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to another end of another episode from a page from the Golden Age. See you next week.